Hello, lovelies. Today we're going to be talking about the Draconic chart, specifically the Draconic Moon, and what it means and why it's so important. This is actually going to be a series that I will do. After this video, I'm going to go through each sign that the Draconic Moon can be in and what it means in terms of your soul's essence and the expert wisdom you've gained over previous lifetimes. So if you're interested in following along with that playlist, do make sure you subscribe. That way you are notified when these upcoming videos are released. So what is the Draconic chart? It's created by moving the north node in your own chart to 0 degrees of Aries and shifting the entire chart accordingly. Typically, the planets remain in the same houses as they are in your natal chart, but the signs change. The Draconic chart can be read just like a natal chart to discuss who you were in previous lifetimes, which energies you mastered best, and how you did so. So what is the Draconic Moon? Your soul's essence. The sign of your Draconic Moon is essentially the fabric from which your soul was cut and created from, or the sign and energy that your soul was most integrated into the moment before you incarnated into the lifetime that you are in right now. It is the energy your soul carries. It also shows what type of previous lifetimes you likely came from and were familiar with that attributed to your soul being able to download this wisdom and express the energy of the sign your Draconic Moon sits in. It is my personal belief that our soul's ultimate goal is to experience and master all 12 of the signs eventually over many lifetimes. So perhaps 100 years from now, if you're still incarnating, your Draconic Moon sign will have shifted. Maybe it's already shifted from what it was in the last lifetime, or maybe based on this lifetime, it's going to shift in the next. In contrast to the Draconic Moon, the natal chart shows you the intended path for this life as a human and soul conjunct in union, whereas the Draconic Moon shows you the energy of your naked, bare soul right before it came into contact with your human body, genetics, hereditary line, ancestral karma, etc., also known as our ego. Since the ego does affect our overall energy, personality, and how others perceive us, we have the natal chart, which is a combination of our soul's energy and our ego's energy. How I use the Draconic chart and the Draconic Moon sign in my readings. Well, I compare and contrast the differences and similarities in the natal sun, moon, and rising to the Draconic Moon. We came into this life with the purpose of being human, which is an ego, the body and its systems, and a spirit in union. That's a human being. If we wanted to abandon ego and abandon our humanness, we wouldn't have incarnated at all. We would have stayed a pure soul and spirit. So the fact that you are here right now in a body should signal to you that you are here to carry out the purpose of your natal chart. But we do most naturally incline towards our spiritual nature. That is where we feel at home and at ease. We have a tendency to want to fight against or reject our ego's energy instead of embrace and accept it. It's why when you hear about near-death experiences, people so often talk about how they felt like they were finally at home. Many of them say they didn't want to return to life or to earth because of this feeling, but they were told by guardians or angels or God that they had to, that they still had unfinished business or it wasn't yet their time to come quote unquote home. Well, it's our job to do the same thing for ourselves as we live our life out here on earth. We have to remind ourselves of our purpose, which is to be human, and to pull ourselves away from natural inclinations that go against that purpose. This isn't to say that we are here to kill our Draconic energy, not at all. In fact, the Draconic Moon energy is extremely positive. It's the accrual of our soul's wisdom and which sign's energy it's most aligned with. This is a positive thing. And many aspects of our Draconic Moon can actually help us express the higher octaves of our natal chart, as well as help us accomplish our earthly tasks. But some aspects of our Draconic Moon energy can actually be in conflict with our natal chart. So it's about understanding which parts of your Draconic Moon empower you in this life and which ones could hold you back. All signs have certain things in common and certain things that make them different from one another. All signs have certain things that make them compatible and others that make them incompatible. So I think the Draconic Moon sign is useful to look at in determining what natural spiritual tendencies can assist you in this life those that actually align with the natal chart, and what natural spiritual tendencies may hinder you from achieving your purpose. Another thing you can do is see what house in your natal chart holds the same sign as your Draconic Moon is in. Is that area of life would be a healthy outlet for all of your Draconic Moon energy, and would be an area of life that you could really master because of your soul's inherent wisdom in that energy. So, for example, if you're an Aries rising and your Draconic Moon is in the sign of Libra, that means Libra is in your 7th house of marriage and one-on-one relationships and partnerships in your natal chart. So you can pour all that wise Draconic Libra energy you've mastered and that's been downloaded into your soul over into that 7th house of your natal chart, enjoying an excellent marriage, long-lasting relationships, etc. Once you've been made conscious of your Draconic energy and how it is incorporated into your natal chart, you can make more deliberate choices in how to utilize or not utilize your Draconic Moon's energy in your everyday life. It is near impossible to accomplish any task we set out on without the proper self-awareness, and the Draconic chart can provide us with just that, a self-awareness of who we are and what we are at our core. So that's what I want to talk to you about throughout this series. Your Draconic Moon sign, what it says about you at a soul level, what potential past lives you've lived, what skills, talents, and wisdom you might have gained through those lives, and what tendencies that may bring you in this lifetime, which could be positive or negative for you, entirely depending on what your natal chart dictates. The Draconic Moon versus the South Node. The South Node shows us more of what we became stuck in during our previous lifetimes, typically due to life circumstances somewhat outside of our control, being in denial of something or an aspect of ourself, or relinquishing our own interpersonal power for the sake of survival and the negative karmas that resulted because of this. The South Node is an area of our past life that shadowed our purpose or prevented us from fully realizing our true purpose in that previous life. So in this current life, we're being called to heal and balance out that energy with the North Node. So the South Node does also talk about who we were and what we did in previous lifetimes, but it carries a heavier or more negative energy with it. It's more of a quicksand point in our natal chart, enveloping us or being a danger to our soul's growth if not dealt with. Something we came into this lifetime aware of the fact that we needed to fix or heal for the growth of our soul. Not so much an inherent part of our soul's essence or personality, like the Draconic Moon, but more of a knot in our soul that was created through insecurity, grief, trauma, and wounds in previous lives that we're working to untie and straighten out here in this life. This is why this point, South Node, was placed in our natal chart. Spirit wanted us very aware of that particular sinkhole so we could deal with it head on. The Draconic Moon is not attached to our karma in any way. It's an accumulation of our successes, what we've done well and mastered. When people read about their Draconic Moon sign, they typically feel very pleased inside because it's a reminder of their soul's accomplishment, what their soul did well, what it mastered, and what wisdom it gained. So I'm extremely excited to get into this series with you all and dive deep into your individual Draconic Moon sign, its energy, and what that means for you. So I'm going to leave you guys here. Let me know what you're thinking about this upcoming series, what you thought about this video, and what resonated with you. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.